Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated review for you today. We are going to be talking about HOMEWORX Black Tie. Now, this vessel is a little bit different than the typical HOMEWORX candles that I review on my channel. This is a 14-ounce 3-wick vessel, so it's a little bit different packaging. You can see that there's no wraparound label. This is obviously a glass vessel, but it's kind of got this like textured bubble on the side. To be honest with you guys, I've seen a couple of other fragrances in this packaging at my local Home Goods. I think I saw sugared beignets, and there were a couple of New Year's candles. This one is, I believe, part of a New Year's lineup, but the packaging in and of itself does not really fit the aesthetic of my home. However, that's not really a big deal for me because I do tend to burn a lot of my candles in colored hurricanes. So what are the fragrance notes on this candle? Fragrance notes are patchouli, aged bourbon, Palo Santo, and smoked vanilla bean. Now, I have not seen a lot of people talk about this candle. I think some of those fragrance notes might be scaring people off a little bit. But if you caught my top candles from HOMEWORX in 2023 video, then you will know that this candle actually made my top 5. So there's a little bit of a spoiler alert. Yes, I love the fragrance of this candle. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about performance. We will talk about what my nose smells. So let's dive right on into it. All right, so my nose definitely picks up all of the fragrance notes that are listed here. I think that the notes that are listed are actually quite appropriate. And I would say actually, even in the order that they're listed is what my nose picks up on. So I definitely get patchouli and Palo Santo. I feel like those fragrances together kind of give this candle an earthiness. The aged bourbon though does give it a little bit of that boozy note. So if you do not like boozy fragrances, you're not going to like this one. Smoked vanilla bean, yes. In the background, I do detect a tiny hint of vanilla, but it is not a gourmand vanilla. I would actually almost describe it as like vanilla extract, probably because we know vanilla extract does have alcohol in it. And so because I see this candle as being kind of boozy, it's kind of perfumey. It leans a little bit more what people would traditionally call a masculine fragrance. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I love this fragrance, and it's really something that is unique and out of my wheelhouse typically. Usually when I see patchouli listed in fragrance notes, it gives me a little bit of pause. But I will tell you that the patchouli in here paired with that Palo Santo, with the bourbon, with the vanilla, it is just a stunning fragrance. I do see this candle being polarizing. I would say that this is a fragrance that you might want to see if you can come across it in some of your local discount retailers, or wait for a really good sale to pick this one up. Because these are 3 wicks, they are listed for $25 over on the Slatkin & Co website. Because I am a HOMEWORX ambassador, this candle, just to let you guys know, this is not a sponsored video, nor was this candle sent to me in PR. I did purchase this candle with my own money. I do have a discount code with HOMEWORX. It is KATIESJOYFULLIFE. It does say 15% on orders over $40, but truthfully, if you have not smelled this fragrance before, I would wait until this candle goes on a pretty substantial discount, just in case you don't really care for it. Then you wouldn't feel maybe as guilty about passing it on or gifting it to somebody else. With that being said, I will tell you that this fragrance smells so much nicer upon burn than it does on cold sniff. So yes, it's a boozy fragrance. Yes, it's a little bit earthy. The way that I would describe this candle is if James Bond burned candles in his bachelor pad, this is what his bachelor pad would smell like. It is very sophisticated. I think the name Black Tie suits it really well because it does just give me a very luxurious, masculine, I know that term is very relative these days. It smells like a really sexy man. If I can be really honest with you, like I would love if this fragrance were in a cologne. It smells really, really nice. Another candle that I have burned in the past that smells very similar to this is, if you are familiar with luxury candles, Lofco had a candle exclusive, I believe, to Blue Mercury in late 2022 that was called White Maple Bourbon. And the two candles smell very, very similar to me. And in fact, I actually had black tie in my collection when it came to HOMEWORX in late 2022. And then I also had that Lofco candle, and I burned them in different rooms and I couldn't tell a difference really moving from room to room. So those are some similarities to it. I do think that this candle pairs really nicely with Kringle's Snowy Bridge. That's about the only other candle in my current collection that I think can complement this one, because that also does have some like woody notes behind it. But overall, the fragrance, out of my wheelhouse, but one that I absolutely love. I actually have 3 of these candles currently in my collection. That's how much I love it. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance, strength, and throw of this one. Without a hurricane on it, I would give this candle a 6. Now for, you know, some perspective here, my home is 20 years old. It is open concept, you know, that typical early 2000s build. It is a single story. My living room is an open concept that opens up into the kitchen. Living room has high ceilings of about 20 feet. The kitchen has a little bit lower ceilings, and so do the bedrooms. The bedrooms are obviously more closed concept and lower ceilings. So when I burn this candle in my bedroom, I think it's perfect, but I will tell you that I placed this candle in a hurricane out in my living room, and in a hurricane, the performance, the strength of this one picks up to about an 8, which is perfect for me, especially given that the fragrance notes in this candle can be particularly strong. I think that an 8 is probably the max that you would want out of a candle like this. A 10 would be overwhelming. It would be probably headache inducing, and it just might be a little bit too much. So yes, the James Bond of candles. I think that the patchouli note in here is similar. If you liked HOMEWORX's patchouli teakwood, I think that you would like this candle. Now, that being said, I didn't care for patchouli teakwood. I didn't care for the patchouli mixed with the cedarwood note in there. I didn't really like that blend, but somehow I do like this blend with more of the Palo Santo in there. I think it just, there's a little bit of sweetness in here without it being gourmand. Oh, it's just absolutely lovely. If you want me to compare this to like another boozy fragrance, so if some of you are familiar with Kringle and you're familiar with like Kringle Candles Bourbon Bonfire, they're 2 very, very different fragrances. Like I said, this one gives me like James Bond vibes, whereas I feel like Bourbon Bonfire is more like Ron Swanson. If any of you guys are familiar with the show Parks and Rec, you know who Ron Swanson is. He's very manly. Funny, just a little funny side note, my husband is essentially like 95% Ron Swanson. So there's room for those kind of men in my life. And I actually love that fragrance as well, but they are 2 very, very different fragrances. So those are my thoughts on this candle. Let me know in the comment box down below. Does this candle appeal to you? Did you even know that this one was on the periphery here? I feel like because not a lot of people talk about this one, I feel like it kind of goes underrated, but this is a really good year-round candle. Yeah, let me know if you've come across this one in your home goods. Did you smell it on cold? What did you smell? If any of you guys are burning this one currently, are you enjoying it, or is this going to be a one and done? I always like hearing those things. Also, let me go ahead and lift this up so that way you can see the flames on this. I've been burning this one for about 3.5 hours, so you can see that wax pool. I'm getting closer to the end. I probably got about 1/3 of the way left of wax left in that wax pool there, but oh man, this is really, really good. 2 thumbs up from me. It has been a repurchase. I have more in my stash, like I said earlier. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you found this video helpful. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Katie. I like to talk about a lot of home fragrance here. We do reviews, I do empties, I do hauls. I have a monthly chit chat series. So if you like candle content, please subscribe to my channel. And I just want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. Until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.